I'm Jilly.
And I'm Jessy.
And welcome to
The Ghouls Room,
where we talk about spooky, scary, and
ghosts and monsters and aliens and lions and tigers and bears.
oh my, anything that goes bump in the night.
So what are we going to talk about today?
Well, this first story is called I Too Grew Up in an Intensely Haunted House. I think it may be about a haunted house.
That makes sense.
So I found this story on Reddit, and this user is TheTerribleTimmyCat.
Okay.
So I don't know why the cat is so terrible, but that is okay.
Yeah, let's dive right in to the haunted house.
All right. Well, I spent 10 years of my life there at least. From 1993 to 2003, I lived in a very haunted house in western North Carolina. It had been our landlord's house, but when our landlord died, his children began fighting over it.
Typical. With
it eventually going to the daughter of one of the landlord's sons. So not the kid directly, but their
probably
grandchild.
Just said granddaughter.
Yeah, like it was.
We're not going to nitpick.
Their granddaughter, okay, the landlord's granddaughter. She didn't want it, saying she had too many bad memories of the place and sold it to us as a discount.
So everyone fights over the house and then they end up giving it to the one that doesn't want it. Okay.
Not at all. She does not want it at all and sells it at a discounted price. Where is the children at this point? Wouldn't they want to buy? Yeah, I guess.
Like, I'm not selling it to you guys. You'd suck.
That should have been our first clue. Our second clue was that on topographic maps, the little knob of land on which the house stood is called Copperhead Hill. Snake, right? Copperhead is a snake?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I was expecting, with setup like that, I was expecting it to be called something like Hangman's Ridge or like the Cursed Hills.
Spooky House Hill. But Copperhead Hill.
There's no ghosts. There's actually a lot of snakes.
So yes, a house where a family so unhappy and dysfunctional that they ended up suing one another over it, and much more. Built on a plot of land named after a venomous snake, we were off to a great start. I still think it's so funny, though, that clearly the family cares so much about this house because they're suing over it, but yet the granddaughter still, like, just sold it away.
Yeah, no, like, picture, like, us, if we got, like, Nana's house. Like, right. I'm not giving it to any of you. We're selling it.
Right. Just that's literally what happened, too. Like, okay. What I know about this house, the original part, the living room and 2 bedrooms, was built in 1927. Oof. The house metastasized after that, with multiple additions, the last being a patio covered and turned into a den sometime in like the 70s or early 80s. By the time we got it, it had 11 rooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, living room, dining room, kitchen, den, laundry room, that's nice, pantry, and, a library. Ooh, that's nice. It had 4 fireplaces. Ooh. 4 people died in the house. Oh, okay. I hope they didn't die in the fireplaces. Our landlord of a heart attack in a big red leather chair in the living room.
Getting rid of that chair immediately.
Oh, gone. His wife of cancer in what became my mother's bedroom. That would not be my bedroom. And I don't know how the other 2 went. They were relatives of our landlord. The house and property, originally a large farm, had been in the family for generations. The farm gradually whittled down and the family's fortune declined. What happened there? 1, doors locking themselves behind you when that should not have been physically possible. 2, loud footsteps on the stone floor and the kitchen at night, which sounded like a woman in high heels walking laps around the room. That one, I would nope out of there. That's terrifying. 3, things moving around the house. It seems pretty normal for like a haunting.
Yeah.
4, Books jumping off shelves.
Read this one.
Read this one. This is for you. It's a good author. 5, things being thrown across rooms. 6, bedroom doors opening just long enough and wide enough for something to look in before closing.
No.
Oh, yep. Before
I don't care how nice the library
again.
is. I am out of there.
Oh, that's spooky. 7, something pounding on the front door late at night in more than one occasion.
I mean, that's scary whether it's a ghost or not.
That's terrifying. Loud coughing coming from my mother's bedroom when there was no one in there. That sounds like the wife. Number 9, a pair of antique mirrors. That's already scary. Very large and very heavy, coming off the wall in the middle of the night, crossing the room and coming to rest against the opposite wall, turned so that the glass faced the wall where they had been hanging. So that's crazy.
No, thank you.
Very large and very heavy. That's...
Yeah.
Number 10, a woman in a white blouse and long black skirt occasionally appearing in the front yard. A friend of mine saw her one evening. The lady who delivered the newspaper saw her around 5 a.m., and a friend of my mother's saw her around 4 a.m. as he was on his way up the mountain to tend to his orchards. Number 11, a large black dog appearing under an oak tree in the front yard. A friend of mine saw it and said its eyes didn't glow per se, but looked like the way a cat's eyes look when light reflects in them just right. She was the only one who saw it, and we realized something was wrong when she asked me whose dog it was. There was not a dog when I looked, and when we looked together, she saw it and I didn't. She suggested very quickly at that point that we go inside. Number 12, weird lights. Usually white or blue, occasionally red, moving among the trees in the woods around the house. That's terrifying. Number 13, indistinct muttering coming from the woods, sounding like someone mumbling to themselves. That's like Minecraft. The little villagers. Number 14, strange shadows that looked like miniature but elongated human forms that you would very rarely see doing some kind of herky-jerky little dance on the living room hearth. Number 15.
How long is this list? Oh, there's too much going on.
There is.
I would have been out of here like 4 things in.
There is 2 more on the list.
Oh my goodness.
Number 15. Probably just pareidolia, but in the wood grain on the paneling in what was my bedroom, it looked like there were some very disturbing faces. One looked like a skull, seen from the side, with a dark trail leading upward out of one eye socket. Another looked like a woman with her mouth wide open, but her face, cleavered in 2. That one really bothered me, because over the years, it seemed to turn from a more side-on view to a more direct view.
Oh, jeez.
Number 16. My dad showed up there after he died. Whoa, what?
Seems pretty self-explanatory.
My mom told me she felt his hand brush through her hair twice, and one morning she found a wet washcloth on the lip of the sink, just the way he always left them after shaving.
He knew how much I hated when he left them there.
In the week after he died, in 2012. So that was my house. Another couple of things that were bothersome about it was that it was always there's more. Oh. But these are just bothersome. They're not like
terrifying.
Scary. Yeah. It was always dark inside, despite the fact that it had 30-something windows.
Oh,
I had to count once when my dad was thinking about replacing them. I'm guessing he didn't.
My dad replaced the windows after he died.
And the fact that unpleasant things always seemed drawn to this place, mosquitoes, spiders, and snakes were always around.
I think that's just living in the South. Or, most
I
places.
hate mosquitoes. It seemed like if it stung, bit, or was venomous, the house on Copperhead Hill was the place it wanted to be.
Got a lot of ghosts in Australia then.
The house always seemed to like to hurt people. The landlord and his family weren't happy or healthy there, and neither were we. As for me, I was there from the age of 13 to the age of 23 when I finally moved out on my own.
10 years, too long.
It's crazy. 10 years too long, especially with that 16 list.
Yeah.
It's wild what you can get used to, because it was a little creepy when I lived there, but after I moved out, I realized how profoundly wrong that house was, and I didn't even like being there after dark. 10 years.
I want, now someone to write a ghost story where it's, an analogy for, domestic abuse, the things you get used to.
Right.
And then leave and realize how messed up it is.
Oh, that was actually crazy.
Wait, that's not normal?
Right. Wait, you guys didn't do that either? What? No, after the whole, door opens just a little bit to see... No, I can't.
No.
Did you see something? Was the hallway dark? I just picture opening the slightest bit and then closing. Nope, I'd be out. I don't care. That'd be done. All right. Well, that one...
Oh, is that the whole thing?
That was it.
Oh,
that was it.
Wow. Yeah,
that was traumatizing for me.
Oh, God. Imagine 10 years there.
That's crazy. See, when you're first 13, I get some of these things, that maybe you could have just seen, or the whole dog thing with the friend. I have a feeling, maybe that could be someone just being like, no, don't you see it? I don't know. I wasn't there, and I can't say that I disbelieve her either.
Or maybe it's a weird situation where from when your perspective shifts ever so slightly, one person can see it and the other one it's blocked or something.
Right.
I feel like there's a lot of different things that could possibly culminate in a scenario like that, and the pareidolia, seeing faces and stuff. I
feel like everyone does that. You can't look at wood grain and not.
Exactly.
It's like cloud watching.
Some of those are definitely coincidences, but on top of everything else, it just doesn't help.
Right, exactly. That's a little creepy, but after, let's see, 16 reasons that it's terrifying.
Can't use that sort of logic with this giant mirror is on the other side of the room. How does that?
Right.
Ugh.
Creepy. Coughing when no one's at... No.
Just bulldoze it.
I'm good. Knock it down.
Yeah.
Copperhead, more like Flathead. Kill it.
All right, so in the spirit of variety, we like to mix things up, do some real stories and then some fictional stories. I love reading horror fiction, so we thought it would be a good mix also because Jilly reads, the stories we get sent in or we find, and I'm coming to them new. Whereas these, I'm a big fan of a lot of them, and Jill's coming to them new, taking turns. So I thought for our first few, we'd go through a multi-part series, probably one of our favorites on the internet at least. And it is called I'm a Search and Rescue Officer for the U.S. Forest Service. I have some stories to tell.
Ooh.
Now, this is from our nosleep, which is fiction, but it's sort of like the written equivalent of found footage where everyone basically writes and, for the most part, comments on stories in character, which can get a little annoying. Sometimes we've seen stories where, writing from the perspective of a Reddit user hurt the story. but overall, I think it can be a fun framing device. But so even though it has the same vibe of someone telling a personal story, it's fiction from, the perspective of a Redditor. Just a content warning for the next story. There are some depictions of child death and suicide. So if that's not your thing, totally understand, and we'll see you in the next episode. So this will be part 1. I wasn't sure where else to post these stories, so I figured I'd share them here. I've been an SAR officer for a few years now, and along the way I've seen some things that I think you guys will be interested in. I have a pretty good track record for finding missing people. Most of the time they just wander off the path or slip down a small cliff and they can't find their way back. The majority of them have heard the old stay where you are thing, and they don't wander far. But I've had 2 cases where that didn't happen. Both bother me a lot, and I use them as motivation to search even harder on the missing persons cases I get called on. The first was a little boy who was out berry picking with his parents. He and his sister were together, and both of them went missing around the same time. Their parents lost sight of them for a few seconds, and in that time both the kids apparently wandered off. When their parents couldn't find them, they called us, and we came out to search the area. We found the daughter pretty quickly, and when... You happy to hear that?
Yeah. Was that a relief?
She look good. What happened to the sun?
We found the daughter pretty quickly, and when we asked where her brother was, she told us that he'd been taken away by the Bear Man.
Oh.
B-E-A-R, not B-A-R-E.
Oh, okay. He's naked.
To clarify.
That would also be terrifying, though.
Yeah. Not good either way.
You're right.
She said he gave her berries and told her to stay quiet, that he wanted to play with her brother for a while. The last she saw of her brother, he was riding on the shoulders of the Bear Man and seemed calm. Of course, our first thought was abduction, but we never found a trace of another human being in that area. The little girl was also insistent that he wasn't a normal man, but that he was tall and covered in hair, like a bear, and that he had a weird face. We searched that area for weeks. It was one of the longest calls I've ever been on, but we never found a single trace of that kid. The other was a young woman who was out hiking with her mom and grandpa. According to the mother, her daughter had climbed up a tree to get a better view of the forest, and she'd never come back down. They waited at the base of the tree for hours, calling her name, before they called for help. Again, we searched everywhere.
Wait, she climbed a tree?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Go up, disappear.
Oh, that's spooky.
At the base of the tree. Yeah, I feel like a lot of this story is like very subtle things.
Right.
Which like I feel like make it even scarier.
Oh, definitely.
Like it's really well written.
Right.
Again, we searched everywhere and we never found a trace of her. I have no idea where she could possibly have gone because neither her mother or grandpa saw her come down. Also, I like it's already like, is it Bigfoot? Is it...
Right.
It also like never really gives concrete,
right.
Which is, it's always like a weird dichotomy in stories. Like you want answers, but in most stories when you do get answers, it's usually like kind of disappointing.
Right.
So it's like, it's always this like balance.
Right. It's like you want to know where the kids went, but it's also like, oh, well,
yeah,
it wasn't a regular man.
Yeah.
Like...
And like, I feel like this story overall doesn't have a lot of like concrete answers, but I
right.
do feel like there's like enough hints of things that you can like sort of
right.
weave together
like,
ideas
what would be
and stuff.
Up a tree, like aliens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like some stuff later, like when you hear further things, it's like, oh, maybe it was X, Y, and Z because there's this other thing.
Right.
Like, I feel like it does strike a nice balance. A few times I've been out on my own, searching with a canine, and they've tried to lead me straight up cliffs. Not hills, not even rock faces. Straight, sheer cliffs with no possible handholds. It's always baffling, and in those cases we usually find the person on the other side of the cliff, or miles away from where the canine has led us. I'm sure there's an explanation, but it's sort of strange. One particularly sad case involved the recovery of a body. A 9-year-old girl fell down an embankment and got impaled on a dead tree at the base. It was a complete freak accident, but I'll never forget the sound her mother made when we told her what happened. She saw the body bag being loaded into the ambulance, and she let out the most haunting, heartbroken wail I've ever heard. It was like her whole life was crashing down around her, and a part of her had died with her daughter.
Oh.
I've heard from another SAR officer that she killed herself a few weeks after it happened. She couldn't live with the loss of her daughter. That's the other thing I like.
I love she killed herself.
The other thing I like about this story as a whole is, like, it's not every single one is explicitly supernatural, so, like, it feels more real.
Right, exactly.
Like,
and it's crazy because you know how many times that in real life that cases like this do happen? Like, oh, I have no idea what happened to this missing kid, or he was found thousands of miles, like, in another state. Like,
I've, like, looked into the author before. I don't remember if they were actually a search and rescue officer, but if not, I think they did a lot of research because it feels very like, realistic.
Very well
throughout.
Too.
Yeah. I was teamed up with another SAR officer because we'd received reports of bears in the area. We were looking for a guy who hadn't come home from a climbing trip when he was supposed to, and we ended up having to do some serious climbing to get where we figured he'd be. We found him trapped in a small crevasse with a broken leg. It was not pleasant. He'd been there for almost 2 days, and his leg was very obviously infected. We were able to get him into a chopper, and I heard from one of the EMTs that the guy was absolutely inconsolable. He kept talking about how he'd been doing fine, and when he'd gotten to the top, a man had been there. He said the guy had no climbing equipment, and he was wearing a parka and ski pants. He walked up to the guy, and when the guy turned around, he said he had no face. It was just blank.
No. No, thank you.
He freaked out and ended up trying to get off the mountain too fast, which is why he'd fallen. He said he could hear the guy all night, climbing down the mountain and letting out these horrible muffled screams.
No.
That story bothered the hell out of me.
Me too.
I'm glad I wasn't there to hear it. One of the scariest things I've ever had happen to me involved the search for a young woman who'd gotten separated from her hiking group. We were out until late at night because the dogs had picked up her scent. When we found her, she was curled up under a large rotted log. She was missing her shoes and pack, and she was clearly in shock. She didn't have any injuries, and we were able to get her to walk with us back to base ops. Along the way, she kept looking behind us and asking why that big man with black eyes was following us. We couldn't see anyone, so we just wrote it off as some weird symptom of shock. But the closer we got to base, the more agitated this woman got. She kept asking me to tell him to stop making faces at her.
Oh, God. No, thank you.
At one point, she stopped and turned around and started yelling into the forest, saying that she wanted him to leave her alone. She wasn't going to go with him, she said, and she wouldn't give us to him. We finally got her to keep moving, but we started hearing these weird noises coming from all around us. It was almost like coughing, but more rhythmic and deeper. It was almost insect-like. I don't really know how else to describe it. When we were within sight of base ops, the woman turns to me, and her eyes are about as wide as I can imagine a human could open them. She touches my shoulder and says, "He says to tell you to speed up. He doesn't like looking at the scar on your neck."
Oh!
I have a very small scar on the base of my neck, but it's mostly hidden under my collar, and I have no idea how this woman saw it. Right after she says it, I hear that weird coughing right in my ear, and I just about jumped out of my skin. I hustled her to ops, trying not to show how freaked out I was. But I have to say I was really happy when we left the area that night. And there's just one more in this part. This is the last one I'll tell, and it's probably the weirdest story I have. Now, I don't know if this is true in every SAR unit, but in mine, it's sort of an unspoken, regular thing we run into. And this is the best recurring thing in this story. You can try asking about it with other SAR officers, but even if they know what you're talking about, they probably won't say anything about it. We've been told not to talk about it by our superiors, and at this point we've all gotten so used to it that it doesn't even seem weird anymore. On just about every case where we're really far into the wilderness, I'm talking 30 or 40 miles, at some point, we'll find a staircase in the middle of the woods. It's almost like if you took the stairs in your house, cut them out, and put them in the forest. I asked about it the first time I saw some, and the other officer just told me not to worry about it, that it was normal. Right?
Okay. Don't worry about the stairs. It's fine. It's okay.
It's normal. Don't worry. Everyone I asked said the same thing. I wanted to go check them out, but I was told very emphatically that I should never go near any of them. I just sort of ignore them now when I run into them because it happens so frequently. I have a lot more stories, and I suppose if anyone's interested, I'll tell some of them tomorrow. If anyone has any theories about the stairs, or if you've seen them too, let me know. And that is part 1 of the search and rescue stories.
Jeez.
By, I think they used to have a different username, but now they're Search and Rescue Woods.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's almost like too good.
Right? Like,
That's crazy.
just a normal home staircase in the woods is such a haunting image.
Right. I've heard about that too. I don't know what it means, whatever, because it's always been like if you see stairs in the woods, and it's like, I haven't, and I don't want to.
I would prefer not to.
Right? A staircase to heaven? I don't know. What is it?
But yeah, that's one of my favorite internet horror stories.
Yeah,
so
that's super
I'm excited
good.
to keep reading
the
rest
like
of
that.
it.
That's good. Not at all what I am pictured. I thought, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's it's almost disappointing that it's not true because it's so well written too.
Yeah.
And I feel like each one of those things you can see it being real. And like that's just like the good writing of that,
like
which is awesome.
It's so nothing is like, oh yeah, then the big monster jumped out of the woods and bit my friend and like there's nothing like silly or like outlandish.
That's crazy.
It's so good. I hope you've had fun today.
I had a great time.
I was more talking to the audience, but I'm glad you did too.
Well, I had fun. I hope you had fun.
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Hope you got some goosebumps, some shivers down your spine.
Come and join us for our next spooky session. Live long, prosper. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Live, laugh, ghost.
Flush. Thanks for coming and listening to our spooky dooky stories. Make sure you wipe on your way out and wash your hands.
No, this can't be our outro.
I know. Well, thanks for coming joining us and spending some of your time being a part of our time.
I've been Jessy.
I've been Jilly. And this has been...
The Ghouls Room. I nailed it. Flawless.
Good stuff.